Hello everyone. We are going to discuss on how to write the publication, how to write the articles and how to publish it. So before starting the discussion, we should know that before we start writing the article, what all we should know, what all we should keep in our mind, what all we should uh, analyze and then move to write any article. For any author or any publisher, it's important to understand that it's not that what all we know, it's that what others are observing. Because when you are sending any publication or any article to any journal, the third person who is reading that article may not understand what actually you want to say. So what all are the parameters which you should take care so that the person in front of you or in front reading that article will understand very clearly the idea which you want to deliver. So for an author, it is important to get their articles analyzed and reviewed by the colleagues. A third person may tell you something which you don't know. A third person may have some idea which you didn't get. So better to analyze your article with that person, your colleague, and then proceed to your work. It will not be wrong to say that the article writing will start much before you start writing it for the publication. When you get idea regarding some research or some projects, that time only actually your article writing process has started. You have to analyze the work which you are going to do, either that has some benefit or either that has some significant role in the society. So when you start writing some articles or doing some project, first thing which you have to ask yourself that why you want to publish your work and whether is it publishable. Writing a paper starts well in advance when we start actually writing. In fact, you must think about why you want to publish it. And this question should come in your mind at the time when you framed or analyzed or you can see challenged your hypothesis. You need to check that if the hypothesis and the survey or research or projects whatever you are doing are publishable. You have to ask 4 questions to yourself that how have I done something which is interesting or which is new, or is there anything challenging in my work? Is my work related directly to current hot topics which is going on in the society, or have I provided solutions to some difficult problems which society is facing? So either your project has something new or your article has something new or interesting, or is there anything challenging in your work, or is your work is related to some current topics, hot topics which is going on. And fourth which we have are that have I provided some solutions or something as a solution for the problems which is still in the society. If all the answers are yes, then proceed blindly. If you have even one answer no, then try to get your article published, or you can say get your article framed as per the guidelines of the local journals or the small or lower impact factor journals. And if all are yes, then you can say that your article has something value for the international journals or high impact factor journals. Now, when responding to these questions, you should keep in mind that reviewers are using questionnaires in which they must respond to questions such as, does the paper contain sufficient new material? Or is this topic within our scope of journal? Or is it presented concisely and well organized? And are the methods and the experiments presented in the way that they can be replicated again, or copied again, or can be framed in some other form also? Are the results presented adequately? And is the discussion relevant, concise, and well documented? Are the conclusions supported by the data presented? Is the language acceptable? The language which you have used is acceptable? Are the figures, tables are adequate and well designed? Are their informations duplicated, or they are too much? Are all references cited in the text included in the reference list? So a reviewer is going to see these questions, and then he or she is going to review your article. So you have to take care that when reviewer is trying to answer these questions, then he or she should get the proper idea from the articles that what answer he has to give, yes or no, or how many questions are getting satisfied by your articles or your write-up. Second point, decide what type of manuscript to write. What actually you want to write, which type of write-up you want to present. Is it a full article and original, or you can say original research? This is the most important and is the more valuable. If you have done some research and something new you have derived, or some solution you have derived, or some ideas you have given which is not known to the society, that is more appreciable. So either it is that type of full research or full articles, or it is just a letter or communication, or you can say short communication. And short communications are usually published for the quick or early communications on significant, or you can say or sometimes of ongoing research and projects, and to just give the update on those things or current topics. So it is just a communication type or letter type between the authors and editors, which they will publish it. And mostly it is very much shorter than the full articles. It is not that lengthy. Now, apart of these research related things, you can do also review. So either your article or your topic is just related to the review or review papers, or you can say perspectives. So review is just a summary of many articles you have to study, you have to analyze, then you have to find out that they have told this and this was their conclusion, and after seeing their discussion and conclusion, what is your discussion and what is your conclusion? So you have to conclude according to that by reading many articles and giving a summarized conclusion that this can be the solution, or this can be the idea which is a merged idea of many articles or many research papers. And apart of these three and all, sometimes you may have some other type of guidelines or something that is not actually getting published by the single authors. It is some authorities or some institutions should have that type of valuable impact, which can give some guidelines or something. So mostly if you see that research articles or short communication and review, you have three options you have to select. That your article, your data, or whatever your subject or project is, it is related to which type of article can be framed in better way. Either it is a research article, or it is short communication, or it is a review. When you are looking at the available informations, and you must self-evaluate your work, Is it sufficient for a full article? Don't just start. Or is it sufficient for the short communication? If you are not able to decide, then consult your academic in charges or teachers, or you can say colleagues. Discuss with them. They will help you to decide that where actually you have to go. Sometimes what happens that something we can't see but they will see. So we should always take the third person's opinion on our articles, on our write-ups. Now the challenge is, okay, we have framed the hypothesis, we have framed the ideas, we have decided which type of article we should write, and we have framed everything properly. Now is that what will be my target journal? Which journal I should select? That is the actually challenging part when we go for that. So a common question is how to select the journals. So do not gamble and do not start sending to many journals blindly. Sometimes what happens, if you send to some journal, they will reject your article. They may reject, that's not a big deal. If they reject, you can proceed to the other, but at a time, don't send to many journals. It will put you in some legal issues, or sometimes you may have to pay the fine for that, a huge cost for that. So don't go for that type of things, that sending to many journals and waiting for them to give the response. So send to one journal and see that which type of article you have. As I have told earlier, that if your article has some new innovative ideas or solution for some problems, or if your article has some challenging things in it, or you have done something new or interventions, then you can go for the higher impact factor. But if it is not like that, then go for the lower impact factor journals. But before going for the journals, first of all, read the guidelines or the author's instruction given on the journals page, because that is the most important and we miss that. Take the print out of that, read again and again until you understand that your article or your write-up is following each and every guideline given on that journal's website. Sometimes what happens, our article has a very good ideas, very good concepts, everything is there, but the frame is not as per the journal's guideline and they will reject it on the first stage only. So better to avoid that type of rejection, you should frame your article as per the guidelines given by the journal. So read the author's instructions or guidelines for the authors properly, then move. Second thing is, you should take care that you should not plagiarize your article. Don't copy and paste the things in your articles from other articles or others authors. Everyone has done the work. They have used their brain, they have used their ideas. Don't steal the ideas. Yes, take their ideas and acknowledge them. Put their references. Never ever do the stealing work, because it will not only lead to the rejection of your article, but it may put you in legal issues also. So never ever try to do the plagiarism. So in a short, we have seen that what all we should keep in mind before writing the article. Second point, we have seen that which type of article we should select. And third point, we have seen that how to select a journal. But this is not all at all. All these things we are going to discuss in detail in the next session. Till that time, listen it again, see the script, and keep in mind that what all things you have to do, what evaluators or reviewers have to answer before reviewing the article, the questions which we have discussed earlier. What all the 4 points you should take in mind before writing the article, that either my article has all these things or not. So keep all these things in mind and then proceed to writing the articles. We'll see in the next session that what all things we have to do and how to write the articles. Thank you.